Hello yogis, welcome. Today we'll be doing a beginner core and stretch session. So if it is your first time, just take it easy, listen to your body. If anything doesn't feel right, you don't have to do it. You can rest whenever you need. We'll go through some breathing techniques at the start, just to make sure you control your breathing throughout your entire practice and try to move with your breath. We've got Moonie here today helping us out. Down dog and then up dog. Well done, buddy. So we're just going to pop Moonie back over here. Moonie, over here. Down you go. Down you go. Come on. Drop. Yeah. Moonie. Yeah. Good boy. That's it. Okay, so we're going to start down on our backs. Soles of the feet together, knees out wide. Resting one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. You can just close down the eyes to start with. And we'll find what's called our Ujjayi breath. So we're sealing up the lips, just gently breathing in and out through the nose. Lengthening your breath, maybe counting to 5 as you inhale. Little pause and then the same count as you exhale. Bringing the tongue to the roof of the mouth and slightly compressing the back of your throat. Creating a sound in your own head that you can focus on. Maybe imagining the sound of the ocean or a little puppy dog snoring. We'll just take a few rounds of breath here, in and out through the nose. Filling up the chest, filling up the ribs, filling up the belly. Completely emptying it out with each exhale, getting rid of any stale air. So this breath is the foundation of our practice. Whatever session we're doing, we always come back to the breath and try to move with your breath. If you notice it speeds up, you might be pushing yourself a little bit too far. Just back off slightly or rest whenever you need, keeping that yogi breath going. Bringing the hands to the outer thighs, draw the knees up, feet flat on the floor, hands onto the lower belly, starting to warm up into the core. As you exhale, finding our imprint, pushing the lower back down, tilting the pelvis, sucking in the belly button. Inhale to relax, exhale, imprint. Flattening out that lower back, tilting the pelvis, sucking in the belly. Belly button to the spine, squeezing everything, your pelvic floor, your bottom, tummy muscles, and then relax. Exhale to imprint, tummy in, switching on. Inhale, release. Exhale to imprint. So we're tilting the pelvis with each exhale, sucking the belly button in towards the floor, squeezing those really deep internal muscles. Once you've got that, bring the hands down by the thighs. Feet are flat on the floor with the knees bent. Exhale, find that imprint again, and then lift the hips hips to the sky. Push down with the feet to lift the hips off the mat. Slowly roll back down, one vertebra at a time. Exhale, imprint and lift. Rolling it back down. Exhale, imprint and lift. One more time with the breath. Exhale to lift. And rolling back down. Hug the knees to the chest, just give yourself a little squeeze. Then bring the feet back down, knees still bent, setting up for some ab preps. So reach out through the hands, activate the arms, so your fingertips are reaching towards your feet, just up off the mat slightly. Inhale as you tuck your chin, exhale, curling up halfway, so head and shoulders off the floor. Hold for an inhale, exhale, release it back down. Inhale, tuck the chin, exhale, crunching up. Belly button in, lower back should be on the floor. Stay for an inhale. Exhale, release. Good. Crunching it in, tucking the chin. Exhale, lift. Hold for the inhale. Exhale, rolling down. 3 more. Tuck the chin. Exhale, lift. Hold for the inhale. Exhale, release. Tucking chin, exhale, lift. Crunching it in and release. Last one, tucking the chin, exhale, lift. Hold for the inhale. Exhale, release. Once you're down, hug the knees in again. Maybe windscreen wiper the knees, whatever feels good. Loosening the lower back. And we're going to hug the knees in, rocking up and down a couple of times, if it's okay for your back. If not, just roll to your side, push yourself up, and we're going to come over to tabletop. Flick the legs around, roll over the cross legs if you can. Whatever option gets you there, coming into tabletop. So hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. We're on all fours. So tuck the toes just to start with. Give the feet a bit of a stretch. Push down, push back with the heels. And release. Coming into pointer dog. Inhale as you point the right hand and the left foot. Suck in the belly, get the balance. Exhale to lift. Hold for an inhale. Exhale back to tabletop. Other side, inhale, point, left hand, right foot. Exhale, lift. Hold for an inhale. Exhale, lower. Switching it over. Inhale, point, right hand, left foot. Exhale, lift. Hold for the inhale. Exhale, lower. Keep it going. Point. Lift, hold, and lower. Point, lift, hold, and lower. Last one, point, lift, hold, and lower. Give the hips a little wiggle, just loosen it up. Let's tuck the toes, come up for our first downward facing dog. So step the hands forward, about a hand width. Spread the fingers, plug into the fingertips, making sure we're not dumping into the wrists here. So spread the weight through the hands. Maybe just hover the knees off the mat first, sucking in the belly, and then push back to down dog. So hips to the sky. And just heel toe the feet a couple of times, push back through the heels, walk it out, whatever feels good to loosen up through the legs. Make sure you're spreading the weight through the hands, so no pressure in the wrists.
If this is your first down dog ever, it might feel a little bit strong on the wrist. You can drop the knees back down if you need. Stay for one more breath if you can. So knees are slightly bent, pushing the chest through towards the feet. Now we're going to roll forward to a plank, shoulders above wrists. Drop the knees, untuck the toes, lower down, elbows in. So chest and hips come down together if you can. Inhale for a little cobra, lifting the chest. Exhale, tap toes, hips back to heels. And back to downward facing dog. Hips to the sky. Pedal out the legs. Come through that flow again. So we'll do this a few times through the session. Roll forward to a plank. Shoulders above the wrists. Tummy tight. Drop the knees if you need to. Untuck the toes and lower down. Elbows brush past the ribs on the way down. Inhale for a cobra. Exhale, hips to heels, tuck the toes. And then back to downward facing dog. Let's walk the feet up to the hands. Coming into a ragdoll, grabbing opposite elbows. And take a sway. Feet are about hip distance apart. Just rocking the body side to side. Then release the hands, let everything hang. Roll out the head and the neck. Slowly roll up to standing. Sweep the arms up and over. And bring the prayer to the heart. Stepping the feet together. Take an inhale, sweeping up and over. Exhale, fold it forward all the way through. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Rolling back up to standing, head comes up last. Sweep the arms up and over. And bring the prayer to the heart. Take a breath here. Good. Inhale, sweeping up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift. So hands come up to the shins or the thighs. And then exhale to fold. Plant the hands to the mat so you can bend the knees as much as you like. Step it back to your down dog. Coming through that flow, inhale to plank. Exhale, lower down. You can drop the knees if you need. Otherwise, try keep them lifted. Build strength in the arms. Untuck the toes, lifting up for cobra. Exhale, release. Tuck the toes, hips to heels, or you can try back to down dog. Good. Let's come forward again to plank. Exhale to lower, dropping the knees if you need. Lowering down. Resting on the belly. Bring the arms out. 90 degrees in the elbows. Zip up the legs, point the toes. Inhale to lift the chest. Lift the arms, lift the legs. Keep breathing. Sucking in the belly underneath, so not using your belly to lift. Suck in the belly, use your lower back muscles to lift. Reach the arms back behind, open the shoulders a little more. If you can reach your feet, bend your knees, grab hold of your feet with your hands. Bring the knees back together and start to kick. If you can't reach your feet, keep the legs long. Reaching the arms back and just hold it there, keep breathing. One more breath, whichever option you're in. And relax into your crocodile. Bring the hands under the forehead, give the hips a little wiggle. Slide the hands back beside the chest, tuck the toes under, You can keep the knees down, and we're going to push the hips back to the heels, elbows tucked in. Good. Take a breath here, rest the forehead on the mat if it reaches. And then back up to down dog. Walk the feet up to the hands, come to seated.
If that doesn't work, come to seated however you can. Sit up nice and tall, rocking back off the sit bones. We're going to hold on either underneath the thighs or hold on to the shins if that works for you, coming into our boat pose. So keeping the spine nice and long, we're just rocking back so your feet are off the floor. If this is enough, just stay here working on that tummy strength. Make sure you're not dropping into your lower back. Anything in your back, come back a step. If you can, we'll take it further, release one hand or both. Maybe lift the shins. Keep breathing. If this is okay and you want more, straighten out the legs. Just an option. If you feel it in your back, bring it back. Boat pose. Canoe, if you can, one more time, straighten out. Back to boat. Hold it and breathe. Nice straight back, tummy in. And release. Come into butterfly, soles of the feet together, knees out wide. Just give the hips a bit of a stretch out. Roll the shoulders, release the neck. Big breath in. Exhale it out. Sitting up nice and tall again. Just make sure you're at the top of the mat. So your feet are at the end of your mat. Arms out in front, knees bent, feet flat on the floor as you roll all the way back down. Slowly, slowly down onto your back. Good. Once you're there, hug the knees to the chest. We're going to come into our imprint with some toe taps. So the toe taps are just an option. Finding that imprint again from the start with the legs lifted. So we want the knees at 90 degrees, hips at 90 degrees. So the 90-degree angle at the hip joint and then bending the knees 90 degrees. Shins parallel to the floor. Hands on the lower belly, find that imprint. Push the lower back down, which will make the hips lift. Keep that switched on and keep breathing. Should feel quite shaky if you're holding it properly. Tummy in, lower back's touching the mat, hips are lifting towards the sky. And have your hands on your lower belly or down beside you. Find that shaky feeling. No matter how good you get at this, you should always be able to make yourself shake. Just taking it a little bit further, switching on, but keep breathing. Let's add some movement to the legs. If you feel it in your back, just stick with the static motion, just holding where we are now. Otherwise, inhale, lower the right leg towards the floor, doesn't have to touch. Exhale, bring it back up. Inhale, left leg lowers, exhale, lift. Switching it over, we're keeping that imprint. So if the lower back lifts, you've probably taken the leg down too far. Find the imprint, switch it back on. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift. If you have issues with your head touching the floor, you can bring the hands behind the head just to keep yourself up a little. Keep working with the breath. You can rest the head back down. If you want more of a challenge, you can lift the legs up to the sky. Lift the hips off the floor. So legs are straight and then coming down. Maybe just halfway again. Check in with your imprint, make sure your lower back's not lifting. Should be nice and shaky. Whichever option you're in, let's do a few more. Either moving the legs or just a few more deep breaths, holding the imprint with the legs up. Keeping that imprint and breathing. Good. Last one. And release. Windscreen wiper the knees, let that go. Let's hug the knees to the chest and then place them back down. Coming up for a bridge. So feet are hip distance apart, knees are hip distance apart. If you have got a block or a cushion, you can pop it between the knees and squeeze. Just helps activate the thighs and keep them hip distance apart. Feet in towards your bum and then squeeze your bottom, lift the hips, keeping the feet flat on the floor, squeezing and lifting. If you want more, interlace the hands under the back, shuffle the shoulders in, push up a little higher. Stay for 3 big breaths, squeeze and lift. Should be feeling it in the back of the legs, maybe a little bit in the front of the legs, in your bottom, and a good stretch through the front body, the belly, the chest. After your 3 breaths, release the hands and slowly roll it back down. Hug the knees in, take the block away if you've got one. Feet back to the floor. Let's come into our oblique twist. Hands behind the head, come into an upper curl. Holding the upper curl, so head and shoulders off the floor. Finding that imprint, your lower back should be touching the mat. Take an inhale in the center. Exhale, twisting to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Moving with your breath. Breathing. Exhale on the twist. Inhale, center. Should be feeling it in the obliques, the side of your abs, down your waist. Love handles if you call them that. One more. Back to center, hold and release. Windscreen wiper the knees again. One more round of imprint toe taps. So lift the legs, shins parallel to the floor. Finding that imprint again, we'll lift the hips. Pushing lower back down. If this is enough, just stay here. Listen to your body. If you start to move your leg and your lower back lifts, just work on that imprint first. Lifting the hips. If you're okay to lower the legs, inhale to lower the right, exhale, lift. Inhale, left leg, exhale, lift. Moving with the breath. Again, if you want more, you can go straight legs. Hands either on the lower belly or down beside you. I like them on the belly because I can feel that the abs are working, nice and shaky. Keep lifting the hips. Last one on each side. And release. Windscreen wiper the knees. Let that go. Hug the knees into the chest. Rocking up and down a few times. Again, if this is no good for your back, just roll to your side. Make your way up and over. Swing the legs around, coming back up to our downward facing dog. Give the legs a little walk out. Bend the knees. Straighten and push the heels back and down. Spreading the weight through the hands, making sure we're not dumping into the wrists. Stay for a breath. On your inhale, rising up onto tippy toes, rolling forward to a plank, and we'll hold the plank for a few breaths. Again, if you feel it in your back, drop your knees, but try and keep everything else where it is. Building strength in the core. Strengthen the shoulders. Push the mat away. Keep breathing. Holding for 3, 2, 1. Dropping the knees, untuck the toes, lower down, elbows tucked into the ribs. Take an inhale for a cobra. If this is too intense on your back, you can drop down to a sphinx, so onto the elbows. And just gently pull the chest through. Stretch it out. Tuck the toes. As you exhale, push the hips back to the heels. Come back to down dog. Pedal out the legs. One more time. Coming through, inhale, tippy toes, roll it forward. Hold. Nice tight tummy, bottom, thighs, shoulders. If you want a challenge, you can keep the knees up, otherwise drop them down again. Elbows in as you lower. Chest and tummy together. Inhale for cobra. Exhale, hips to heels. Back to down dog. Rolling forward again. Holding that plank. We're going to drop the right knee. Make sure the right hand is under your right shoulder, turning out to a side plank. So right hand, right knee, and left heel are all in one line. Turn the left foot out to face the front of the mat. Reach the left arm up overhead, finding our side plank here. Maybe hovering the left foot if you can. Nice tight tummy, building strength. With control, bring it back down, left foot down, left hand down. Push back up to a plank. Push back to down dog if you need, just to reset. Back to plank, and we'll do the other side. Drop your left knee, so straight down under your left hip. Turn your back foot out, so you're in the inner blade of your foot. Make sure left hand is under left shoulder or slightly towards the top of the mat, so you're not dumping into your wrist. Right hand to the hip or up to the sky when you're ready. Hover the back foot if you want a little more. Keep breathing, hold it. Slowly bring it down. Right hand back down, push back up to down dog. Pedal out the legs. Rolling forward to plank one more time through. Exhale, drop the knees lower down. Inhale for cobra. Exhale, hips to heels. Back to down dog. And we're going to come back to seated. You can walk the feet to the hands and then sit down, whatever works, however you get there. Sitting up nice and tall. Shuffle up to the top of the mat, arms out in front. If you have a strap or a dog lead or the belt off your dressing gown, I should have said that at the start, sorry. Grab that, and we're going to roll down slowly onto the back. Lift the right leg to the sky. Wrap the strap around the foot. Straighten out the left leg. And give the ankle a roll around. Bend and flex a few times. Pulling down a little further, push through the heel. Bring it out to the right. And over to the left. Back to center, switch out the feet. Give the ankle a roll, bend and flex. Pulling down a little deeper, try to relax your shoulders. Just use your biceps to pull, pushing through the heel, gently drawing the leg down. Breathing into it. Bring it out to the left. And to the right. Back to center, release the strap. Hug the knees into the chest. Keep hold of the right knee. Send your left leg out long on the mat. Right knee squeezes up towards the right armpit, compressing into your hip. Keep hold with the left hand and take your twist. Knee comes over to the left. Reach out with the right arm. So we're stretching in 4 directions here. Right fingers are stretching out, left knee is twisting across. Left leg is out long down the bottom of your mat. Point through the toes. Lengthen the neck. Imagine someone has a string just stretching out your neck and your spine while you're twisting. You can turn your head to the right if it feels okay for your neck. Stay for one more breath. Back to center. Squeeze up both knees. Keep hold of the left. Right leg out long. Give the left knee a squeeze. Keep hold with the right hand and take your twist to the other side. Right, our left knee comes across to the right. Left arm reaches out, opening into the shoulder. Twisting, breathing. Using your breath for these stretches. So rather than forcing anything, just notice the little bit of extra release when you exhale fully. Really using those deep breaths. Slowly back to center. Squeeze up both knees. And we'll come into our reclined pigeon or figure 4. Right ankle on left knee, push the right knee away. Flexing the right toes back towards the shin. So the foot is flexed and we're pushing the right thigh away, getting a stretch into that hip. If you want more, you can pick up the back of the left thigh, thread the arms through and hold on to the back of the leg. And if you can reach, still using your right elbow just to gently push that right thigh away. Try to relax your shoulders. Slowly release. Windscreen wiper the knees. And we'll switch it over. Left ankle on right knee. Flex the foot, push the knee away. If you want more, pick up the back of the right thigh. Relaxing the shoulders. Breathing deeply. Slowly release. Uncross the legs, feet flat to the floor, knees bent, windscreen wiper a few times. Just bring the feet a little wider, so onto the edges of the mat, and then drop both knees to the left. Hold for a couple of breaths. And over to the right. Should get a good stretch in the front of the hips with this one. After your exhale, back to center. Hug the knees back into the chest. And coming into happy baby. Soles of the feet towards the sky. Draw the knees down towards your armpits. Grab your feet if you can reach, your ankles or your shins, whatever works for you. So we've got soles of the feet to the sky. Just have a little rock around, whatever feels good. Give yourself a little cheeky smile. Happy baby. Bend and straighten each leg, whatever feels nice. Just finding stillness if that's good for you today. Drawing the tailbone down towards the mat, shoulders down towards the mat. One more breath. Releasing down. Take a big stretch out long. Arms up overhead, legs out long. Make sure you're on your mat. Get yourself nice and comfy. Have a little wiggle. We have still got Moonie here. He's just moved into the sunshine. Enjoying his Shavasana. Our final pose. Bring the arms down by the sides. Give the hips a wiggle, squeeze and release your glutes. Relax through the midsection, your bottom, your hips. Shoulders are away from the ears. Relaxing your jaw, your eyebrows. Coming Shavasana or corpse pose. Taking in your present moment. Noticing how your body's feeling. If you're still gripping onto anything, just try and soften a little more. Eyes closed down, face is fully relaxed. Letting go of any control of your breath, but just staying mindful of the rhythm. Gentle rise and fall of your chest. Noticing your heartbeat. Taking some time to tune in, practicing some mindfulness, tuning in with your present moment, noticing any sounds around you, far off in the distance, maybe a little closer to you. Not judging or giving it too much thought, just simply observing what's there and accepting it. Maybe noticing any smells around you. Noticing any taste in your mouth, fully relaxing your tongue, your cheeks, your lips. Noticing any sensation on your skin. Maybe a little breeze or a tingle. Noticing the temperature. Bringing your attention back to your breath. And your heartbeat. Just imagining that fresh energy. Breathing it in, letting it pump around the body. just leave you there for today. Feel free to stay as long as you like in your Shavasana if you have the time. If you'd like to come up and finish your practice, just gently roll onto one side. Then come up to seated. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.